You are listening to Thought Bridge Radio. Consider the possibilities.
Time. Just add time to the kaleidoscope and you got yourself infinite form. That's right, infinite form. Because every movement of time creates something brand new. And the mind doesn't. The mind is collected. A bubble of an imaginary assemblage, creating a space where time can take place. Space by itself doesn't do it. You can only have the rest of this stuff. Now we got real close to the edge there. Whoa, that was cool. That was like surfing. Now wherever it came from. Oh, yeah. We're going to do this right. Things and sensations that you're interested in processing are the ones that you're interested in processing. But remember the law of space mixed with time. In that scenario, when you being mixed, according to the principle of the law that is set up, you can only process what's a collating frequency. There's oscillations of that frequency. Think of it as an onion skin, layers of beliefs, but it's not an actual skin. It's not a veil, not made out of particular anything other than energy. It collates into an energy which is being processed, coming out of the field of now. And if you take a look at it close, you'll see that your mind may have allowed you to see how it's set up in layers. You can have multiple layers going on at the same time, like various frequencies that's been captured by an energy field called the attention or awareness. And that awareness doesn't have a particular position. It's gotten to a point where it sees that there is no such thing as a position except for a position that it can create and take on as a position. And in that position that it takes, it can create different slides. It's like changing the slide or the filter on one of those searchlights or spotlights, like the lights on a stage. And depending on the light which is on, will show what is on the stage. Ultraviolet light will show even more. But mix them all together and you get white light. That's the standard. When you get different variations and shades of light, what is possible in that scenario is time. Time is necessary. Otherwise, it would all be the same and all be equal and all be happening at once, which it is. But the construct of the mind, the individual units which are living off of the source energy, get distracted and become something which becomes fearful to itself when it actually realizes that it doesn't have a leg to stand on. It has no trust in what is to be set up perfectly, because either it's set up perfectly or it's not. Now, I wouldn't think if there was something that created the whole thing and creates it now, that could be out of whack in the least. Only my judgment would say otherwise. And I would get otherwise, wouldn't I? I would get otherwise as soon as I created a standard, trying to figure out what is the standard by which to gauge everything. But what if it turns out that everything that I gauge, if I don't have a standard to gauge it by, is all okay? What isn't okay is the judgment. As soon as I add the judgment, that's what turns whatever it is that I'm looking at and judging into whatever it is, consequently causing at the same time a judgment is being created, a feeling to be assigned to the judgment. Feeling either gets more pronounced or less pronounced depending on the amount of judgment and amount of interest in processing that feeling or that emotion and that judgment. Withdraw the interest from it and on your attention from it. And if you've withdrawn your attention from it, it dissipates and disappears because there is no void. When you get rid of something in your attention, there'll always be something else that takes its place. And if you keep trading, what the mind does is if you can disconnect from the mind, you can see the mind doing its thing. It's running its program. It's making the person. It's making the separation.